Another episode of videos for my son, where I'm walking with the dog and I'm pretending like my son's 18 to 20 years old. He's a young boy now, and I'm giving him life advice, things I'd say to him at that time and hope to be able to say to him. So we've been working on romantic relationships. We talked first about mentorship, and then we talked about friendship, and now we're talking about romantic relationships, and talked about how sometimes we are dog's kind of silly. Well, you can go back and watch the other ones. I ended. Sorry, I had to pause because the dog had to pee. And I don't want to film that. I want to give him some privacy. Anyways, so now we're back on a walk, and so with romantic relationships, today's kind of a cautionary tale. Not tale, but just as we were talking about, as you're dating, you're having a romantic relationship, and you're wanting the different parts of your relationship, both the physical and the emotional and the spiritual, to all be kind of growing together as you're getting closer, getting to know this person, seeing again, is this somebody who is a good fit for you, in terms of encouraging you, loving you, respecting you, wanting the best for you. And then also, on the flip side, are you respectful and loving of them? Is this somebody that you could love and cherish, and you see the best in them, and you want to live a life towards them that is of service and of helping them achieve their hopes and their dreams, if that's possible, or whatever that means. I know that's very ambiguous, and it's changing by different parts of your life and life stages. Anyway, part of that is that there's different components, both, and physical is only one of them. There's the emotional, and there's the spiritual, and there's also, I guess, just kind of a practical day in, day out. And in all of those components, you could draw close to somebody and still and be getting into deeper and deeper relationships with them, to the point where it might be entering into a romantic relationship, even if the physical aspect isn't there. And eventually in these situations, oftentimes the physical aspect will arise. And so this is a cautionary tale in the sense that you need to watch where you're putting your love, right? We should love freely and love greatly to all, but that doesn't mean we love in the same way to all. And there should only be one person at a time that you're romantically pouring your love, which includes your life, your service, your hopes and dreams, right? Those different aspects of who you are, your emotional, your relational, your spiritual, and then also your physical. And sometimes as you get older and you either are dating, or maybe you're married, or maybe you're neither, but there's somebody in your life that you start to draw close to, and sometimes those lines could be blurred, and you need to be really aware of that. I know many men in my life that have crossed those lines before any physical line was ever crossed, and you need to remember the people behind the woman involved as well. If she's a young unmarried lady, she has a family, or she has close friends or community there that care for her and are involved in her life. And you also have future her as well that you need to be aware of. If you are married and the lady is you and there's another lady other than your wife, you need to be aware of that too, right? Not all romantic relationships are good. Right? You should only have one romantic relationship at a time. I know that's controversial in the dating scene. Call me old-fashioned there for dating, but especially once you're married, absolutely. You should not be drawing emotionally closer to somebody who is not your wife. You should not be drawing spiritually closer to somebody else who's not your wife. You should not be drawing relationally or day-to-day care wise to somebody who's not your wife. Those are crossing those emotional lines, and sometimes that means, limiting the amount of contact you have with a person, right? Putting guardrails if you start feeling yourself being drawn into that circumstance. Sometimes we can't help it initially, but as soon as you know that's going on, as soon as you feel yourself being drawn towards that, you need to step away, especially if you're married. If you're not married and that person is married, again, you need to step away. If you're not married and they're not married, but you're dating somebody else, then that might be a good indication, hey, maybe that person you're dating is not a good fit for you, and you should reconsider that relationship. So, this is the cautionary tale of romantic relationships. Part of, if you're married as well, right, you need to consider the relationships behind you, right? You have your wife. If you have a son or a daughter or family, you have them to think about. And getting involved, again, it doesn't even have to be physically, but getting involved romantically with somebody else, whether it's spiritual, emotional, day-to-day taking care of, all these things, you gotta be aware of it. Some people say you gotta go live your best life and forget, if that's what makes you feel good, it makes you a better person, then you follow that. I think that's terribly wrong. I think that's antithetical to sacrificial love. Part of sacrificial is that we sacrifice stuff because we know that in the end it's better, it's good, it's the right thing. So I paused it to pull away from the traffic so I could finish up and make this last point. The point of this video. Not all romantic love is good. Not all romantic love is right. And it should not always be pursued. Put guardrails around your heart when it comes to those other than your wife. And put yourself in situations where you can succeed in being able to love and sacrifice for your wife, and that hers is the only romantic relationship once you're married that matters. All right. I love you, my son. Have a great day.